Hello and welcome back to another draft with Svensk Finland's Bästa Magic podcast. Uh, Today, um, we're gonna seemingly start off with a Flame Rush Rider. It seems like the best card. We have a Heel Cutter as well. We have a Will of the Naga. So anyway, it's probably going to be the last draft I do before Dragons of Tarkir comes out. Um, Now I don't know about you, but I'll be uh, playing myself down at Fantasiapelit in Turku. Be sure to sign up next week when sign-ups start. They have pre-releases both on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be probably judging one of them, so I'll be seeing you there then, and I'll be playing in the other one. I hope I see you there. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the cards here now. Hero's Blade. Um, the equip costs way too much to make that happen. Instant Reclamation. Um, doesn't seem like a card. Neutralizing back multicolors, but that's not good. I mean, the cards here we have Butt Fight, we have Angler, we have Will of the Naga, and we have Heel Cutter. I think Flame Rush Rider is better enough to take that. Although missing out on Heel Cutter is a big deal, and we have to remember that we might be signaling something now that we're passing that. So uh, whether let's say this Woe Reaper. So this would be the sort of warrior thing to do, and that's a warrior already. So you control exile target creature card from a graveyard if you do gain life. That's not all that great, but tattoo 1 for 1. This is a scout. We have soul summons. I suppose we could go. Oh yeah, but the warrior deck's black white usually, but I guess I could go for a Mardu warrior. The other option here is to just go in early on the falls and um, go crazy, but I'm thinking that maybe if we want to stay red here to be the safer thing. I mean, this could be a fun thing to try out. But if I pass this, considering I passed the heel cutter, then we won't see much red later on. Cutting red here now might get the person off a red to our next. I'm not sure about that, but that might be what I would try to do. However, I think now I'm gonna steer away because um, we're seeing red dry up here. Now, had I taken the white card just then, I think I might have been interested in this. Now, let's see. We have Jeskai Sage. One thing about picking red green here, which admittedly is a bad thing, is that locks us if we pick a sort of um, that locks us into Teamer, which I'm not necessarily a fan of doing. The other option here, though, is to take a land, but it's a land that doesn't share any colors with us. So I don't know. This would leave us open still for both Teamer and. Um, but the problem is that Whisperer is a pretty strong card, so I'm going to go with that. All right, Rally the Ancestors. I've heard that this is just opened all the time and it's just crap. A card that only bolsters seems weak compared to, since I can get actually hunt the weak. Why take a weak card when you can hunt it? Formless Nurturing isn't bad either, but I think I'm going to pick removal over it, especially since this effectively bolsters as well as functions as removal. Otherwise, Nurturing is something I might look to pick up. Battle Rage actually is from my limited experience, hehe, no pun intended. Um, I would I'm actually feel like Teamer Battle Rage would function really well in a Teamer deck. Uh, but at this point, I just think I'll value Hunt the Weak higher. And the two red cards aside, we have not totally committed to red yet. Um, Now I have my good friend from the first draft, Shockmaw Dragon, which is showed there that it was a completely decent card. But um, I'm wondering if I think a double hunt a week is something I'd rather have. Now we have another chance of picking up Team or Battle Rage, and so we have a bit of an interesting situation here. But let's take a look now. I mean, another formless nurturing. This is like almost the same common runs here. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Hunt the Weak. A lot of times it'll just be straight up removal, and although it's a bit slow, the format's a bit slow as well. So I feel like Hunt the Weak is the way to go. Okay, so now then we are seeing a Gore Swine, which fits very well into a Teamer build. I think is a ferocious enabler. Now I've actually even learned the the, the, the ability, the Teamer ability name. So I hope you appreciate me actually improving my knowledge of the correct terms. That way I don't spend a lot of time. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Is a lot of black and blues coming around, um, and we'll. Oh wait a minute now. If I really want to go Teamer, is this the better card? Well, we don't have any fixing yet, so at this point I'm gonna pick the safer Gorse one here, um, and keep my eyes open for the blue to come on. But you know what? Um, I've heard some people say that the red-green deck, with, although that's quite a vague thing to say, that the red-green deck is basically bad. Um, but if the correct cards come, if you just happen to get the right cards, then uh, ooh, Bathe in Dragonfire or our Russian War Beast. I'm just drawn to Bathe in Dragonfire. I seem to be building a pretty I mean, removal heavy deck. Well, I don't know, it's a 7-drop, but I have a ramper already. Oh well, that I didn't have time to think about that. Here I think Frontier Mastodon is just better than Goreswine. This, no matter what happens, it comes in as a 3-2 instead of 4-1, but it might come in as a 4-3. So it has more upside than the Goreswine. The one less power is not going to be as relevant as the fact that it's sometimes going to come in as a 4-3. So Frontier Mastodon it is, and a very nice 3-drop there. Now then, do I have any good enter the battlefield effects that want that? Uh, but I think I'd rather take this for the sideboard. Artifact enchantment not so important, but can be great against the siege cards. But taking down a difficult flyer can be really good out of the sideboard. And yep, I'm gonna put that in the sideboard right there. And of course I got another one right away, which I will not use. Here I think enhanced awareness is gonna be the better pick than this that stupid cantrip. I haven't seen anyone play with this, and don't think this is completely useless. So, oh wait a minute, a fiery invocation, and that's a card. I mean, it's not. Oh, I'll pick that above the other one. So let's take a look. Rune mark. I don't think that the green rune mark is very playable. This is basically fixing and bolsters as well. So, oh, and it's fixing, ramping, bolstering. So that is an okay back. But then we have Temur Battle Rage, the finisher. I mean, double strike, trample on a big guy. It's just all there, all you need. I'm actually, instead of that junk thing, I'll pick up the rune mark. The blue rune mark's one of the only ones I'd really consider playing, I think. And I mean, if I pick up play a really beefy deck, then this is what I want to do. Now, I'm very sorry to notice once again I did not get any of money cards. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the draft just paid itself back here. Not only is this a mythic rare in our colors, it's a card that on its own helps pay back for the draft, but the fact that I'm already drafting a controlly red-green deck and pulling Sarkhan, that means that either you'll get to see me punt, or we just increased our chances of 3-0ing the draft quite a lot, which means we get our packs back plus the added value of Sarkhan in tickets. This was I was just about to start whining about not opening money rare cards. It seems like that's something I need to do. Um, that's that's obviously what cost this thing. But anyway, let's stop talking about that and let's look at all the wonderful things that we probably won't get back. But we would love the Heart Piercer. We would love the Arrow Storm. We will play the Alpine Grizzly. We will pick up the Dragon Scale Boom. I'm not necessarily playing it. Let me just make very sure that I am taking this. I'm just snapping it down like that. That was sweet. Naya is not a deck, but I mean, what if it could be? What if we? So let me see what we have here. Of course, there's the safe pick is Longshot Squad. Um, on 4, a 3/3 that can get rich. That I think fits into uh, the slightly more controlling deck that we're trying to do. Hordling Outburst is a fine card. But I think in this deck I'd want to take the 3/3. Here, of course, we could, if we're gonna see if we want to go into Jund and stuff, we wouldn't lose too much in the long shot squad by just picking up Jungle Hole. But there's just no reason yet to do that. But if we pick up something like Murderous Cut and things like that, we definitely. I mean, we with 2 colors only, we can easily go into a splash, and picking up a single green as opposed to a double red color here leaves us more open to a splash later on. And just because there are clans in KTK doesn't mean that we have to play the clans. Oh dear. The good thing is that this is to destroy the rest of the creatures. So if we've gotten Sarkhan down, then that's still okay. But the Abzan guy just got something pretty sweet. Here I think that realistically we're looking at Witness of the Ages, Kintree Warden, which I actually quite a lot because not only well, it survives Dublast. That's of course amazing. Colossadon on a 6. I think that that's something I can pick up more easily later on. Whereas this guy in our sort of control type deck that we're trying to do here, this guy with regeneration kind of tends to fit our game plan a bit better, especially since if we can just hang around, get Sarkhan down. I mean, uh, I thought I'm missing the rule of Magic. Basically, play a Planeswalker, win the game. Um, and here I'm snapping up Become Immense. I'm obviously, especially now that I'm recording, what would be the absolutely sweetest thing to happen is the good old delve away and cast Immense for 1 on a guy, team or battle rage it to give it double strike and trample. Have the good old smash with a 10/10 double strike trample win. That alone is reason enough to pick Immense here. But if we look also at other cards in our colors, the Absent person is just absolutely getting hooked up. But we're of course cutting green from that a little bit. Trackers, no, not interesting. We have no reason yet to dip into black. So I think here just Become Immense. It's a card that can win out of nowhere, and so I think that justifies taking it here. Now we see Fixing for white, but we also see a Summit Prowler, which is again, yes, there are decks. There are the 4-color, 5-color decks. There's the whole thing about this. There are plenty of reasons to pick up Fixing and lands early in this format. That is true, but you also have to take a look at what's going on. And in my opinion, here we have a deck that seems to be coming up into a very solid, consistent, straight out red green fat beats deck, and a 4/3 for 4 is fine. It's fine. It's safe. It's consistent, and it's better. I feel like it's better to just develop that game plan. Here we pick up a nice foil barrage of boulders, which in my blue-red deck I didn't like it as much, but in the green-red deck, this just means that the other side does not block, because we will a lot of times, if our game plan goes according to plan like it's supposed to go, then we'll have a bunch of things. We're looking to get a little bit more creatures, of course, but I think that picking up a barrage at this point means that we don't have to worry about it later on, and we can pick up probably a late Canyon Lurkers and stuff like that. Leaping Master is fine. I'm gonna play it just as a simple 2-drop, red 2-drop, and not worry about it. Um, so passing Jeskai Charm and everything, that's fine. We're just interested in the guy here. Oh, I don't know enough about this, but I've heard about the Goblin slide deck. But in this case, I'm gonna pick up a fixing now. It's in case we happen to open up a sweet white card that we want to splash for, then here I don't think we're losing out much. Like I said, I've heard of a Goblin slide deck. I've heard the people have played it. I have not heard whether it's good or not, but I'm not going to start experimenting based on hearsay at this point. I'm just going to pick up a fixing and see what comes of it. And we got the Ambusher back. Now I'm going to pick it up because it's a 2-drop and I want to make sure we have some early plays. Tormenting Voice to me feels more like something that you want to use to smooth out your draws in an aggro deck. And while Dragon Scale Boon is fine, I'm going to value the 2-drop creature over it at this point, just to make sure we don't get overrun very easily. And especially since I just knew we are going to pick up a Tormenting Voice later on, so there. No, you might want to think, what about picking up this sweet Teamer banner here? And no, we're not going to do that. Don't think that I have a banner deck here now. I'm gonna pick up Tormenting Voice, throw it to the side, and be happy with that. From here, I guess the most likely thing to get splashing would be that, but that's just not happening. So a perfectly fine morph, another 3-drop. Comes in there, which is fine. Beefs up our creature count. Here, Naturals in the sideboard probably won't play because we have the whichever sideboard card that takes care of artifacts and flyers. Which, if there is going to be any hard artifacts, we're covered because we have another card. Okay, Villainous Wealth. I don't even see that card because I'm snap picking. Well, or to use the other term, slamming, windmill slamming, which at the same time I might as well point out that windmill slam is an really nice and interesting draft and limited sort of YouTube channel. 2 Irish guys playing Magic and drafting and playing Seals, and recommend checking them out if you just love hearing people talk about bad picks in an Irish accent, then go check them out. I can put a link in the video description. But Arc Lightning, I mean, we can with the right draw, we can devastate an aggressive start. We can, well, anytime you get this kind of card where it allows you to deal 3 damage up in any way you would like, it provides you with so many different advantageous strategies. Hoping to get Highland game back, I'd play it at this point. Okay, so 2-drop Smoke Teller seems to be the pick. I don't see anything else that fits into our deck even remotely. We'll let the Abzan guy pick up all the Chiefs of the Scale. The Chiefs of the Scale is actually going to be, that's actually would be one that if they get a early chief down and stuff that could turn into a problem. So we have a dedicated black-white deck for us. But if they pick stuff like Bonkin and things, we have Arc Lightning and we have Bathe in Dragonfire Hunt the Week. We can hopefully deal with all that stuff. So Smoke Teller, I think, is the pick here. No doubt you'll tell me if you feel like it wasn't. So and another Become Immense, or Rugged Highland, or Savage Punch. So, I think the Punch is the better card here. It's cheaper, It's removal and pump at the same time. The pump's obviously situational, but we're going for a deck where this is going to be pump a lot of times. Although I have to say our creatures aren't as strong as I perhaps had hoped them to be. We won't get Become Immense back, of course not. But since we have one already, yeah, I think that Savage Punch is the pick here. We don't need a tap land when we play a consistent two-color deck. Probably play it, but we don't need it so bad. Is the Swift Spear good in our deck? Let's see now. Well, I mean, Prowess works to a certain extent with things like Hunt the Weak, Bathe, Barrage, Arc Lightning. But are we able to take advantage of the haste thing, or do we just stick with a simpler Smoke Teller Dude, 2-drop, or even go with a Inok Tracker? So the Inok Tracker is not. I'm not in love with that either. Smoke Teller might even come back. We pick up the Swift Spear and see where it takes us. I don't really think our deck wants it. Let's see, how many 3-drops do we have? I'm just gonna take a morph. I wish we had that Roar of Challenge card, which is a really good thing to have in a teamer deck. Now I think I want the 5-power guy to get some more people with a lot of power to make sure that we have can trigger Ferocious in things like Savage Punch and things. Leaping Master is fine, but not great. I'm a little bit disappointed now in the quality of guys we have, but I feel like, you know, if we take a look here at our deck, we have 24 playables already. Yeah, this actually was pretty weird the way it turned out here. A Woolly Loxodon wouldn't be too bad. Let's see, we have 14. Here's another Savage Punch. I'm going to be punching the daylights out of people. And the Bloodfire Expert and the Rugged Highland. I don't know. This is kind of interesting now. I mean, yeah, Savage Punch and Sarkhan is of course really sweet. Yeah, we're punching it. Roar of Challenge. So another card similar to Barrage, and I feel like Roar of Challenge in our deck actually might knock out the Barrage, because we don't want too many of these effects. We have a Summit Prowler as well, but but at this point I think maybe. Well, on the other hand, let's see. Barrage said creatures can't block this turn. On the other hand, like, yeah, we don't have to take Roar because we already have we already have a Barrage. This opens us up to take a decent 4-drop that gives us more Ferocious. So I'll stick with some incremental growth. Yeah, I don't have to tell you. Look at our we have a nice curve here. If we get our 2-drops down, something incremental growth is just another way to swell our team up to that important 4 power to get to turn on all our fantastic tricks and that was a very late incremental growth, and I'm extremely happy to pick it up. We take the Highland Game, another 2-drop. Here we what do we don't like playing against the cancel. We don't want our Sarkhan to be cancelled. We will just not play it. I guess we can hate on. I think we're right. Get another Barrage. Let's take it away from someone else. I won't be playing 2. I'll take Water Whirl. That could slow us down. Scout the borders. Don't think we'll need it. And yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at what we have. We have 29 cards. We need to cut 6 cards. I think we're playing 17 lands since we have a nice consistent two-color deck. I'm probably going to be cutting. Let's do 60 creatures. We're probably going to cut the trackers. I don't like them. And might cut map because we don't necessarily need any ramp now that we really didn't play very many. We have Whisperer, which is enough there. We have what else is a bad card? Leaping Master might not be the best now, but it's a 2-drop. But it's let's see, we have a double red guy here, so it's not the best, but not bad. I think that the 3 cards need to be cut here. I think that Fierce Invocation is a cut. Flame Rush, Canyon Lurkers. Canyon Lurkers might be on the cutting block. Longshot Squad stays in. Hunt the Weak, it's okay. Summit Prowler stays in. They're definitely good. Warden might be on the cutting block. Although I do like this, the regenerate ability, that it might come into play. Cheap morph cost, and being able to regenerate can give us the time we need to sort of stabilize. I'm actually thinking that the Leaping Master is the one that gets the boot, and then it does feel wrong to have it in there. But if we just like think very sensibly about this, having a double red 2-drop when we're probably gonna, well, are we gonna have a 9/8 in the favor of green or in the favor of red? Looking at we want to have double red by turn 4, definitely, and double green isn't needed until incremental growth, which is a late game play. I really don't want to cut another creature, really. In fact, maybe I've cut too many as it is. Let's make sure I don't. What's all right? One card needs to go. When we have all these, we have double Savage Punch, we have double Hunt the Weak, we have Arc, we have Barrage, we have Bathe. Maybe I don't want to cut a Hunt the Weak, but I don't want to have a hand with only 1 creature and like three situational removal spells that require a creature. I take away 1 Savage Punch. I thought it was an instant. Do I take away a Savage Punch or a Hunt the Weak helps me bolster up my guys? Become a Mens can win the game. Mardu, Timur Battle Rage can win the game. I think actually. Is it Savage Punch that's coming out? Hunt the Weak. Puts a counter and fights. That feels so bad. But I think the other option is to cut a lurker, but that's I don't like that either. I think mana wise it's the scout that should be thrown out, but that would give us all but I don't want to cut. What's the right thing to do here? Now we're at 23, but I could actually take the scout out and put the hunt in. That would put us down to 12 creatures. Oh, that just sounds wrong. I could also take the scout out and put the leaping master in to have a card that's easily cast. But on the other hand, I can dash this in, if worst comes to worst, so I shouldn't consider it a all-out double red card. Arc Lightning is just an amazing piece of removal. It absolutely stays in. Barrage can can cause me to could win another as long as I have at least one ferocious guy, and that shouldn't be a problem. Bathe is a good removal. Course Wine is a ferocious enabler. Definitely stays in. Mastodon, Warden. Yeah, with the Savage Punches and everything, and especially with incremental growth, I think that cutting the other Hunt a week is probably the right thing to do. I'm thinking Moto is probably going to suggest an 9-8 divide in favor of red. I'm thinking a 9-8 divide in favor of green. But that might be wrong because while I do have these, I have double red here. Maybe a 9-8 divide in favor of red. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it gave us suggested 9 mountains, 8 forests, and sure, okay. This might lead to a situation where we can't cast our 2-drop, but we should have a morph on turn 3 that we should be able to do this. So here it is, a red-green deck. Yes, I could easily have, from an early point, turned away from strictly red-green, picked up more lands, and I think that perhaps more 5-color option was available. But again, I wanted consistency. I tried to follow what perhaps a safe path in drafting, and what we ended up here with is, I think, a pretty resilient deck. We know that there is a strong Absent deck now out there. We have Dune Blast we need to watch out for. We had the Armament Core. There was an Absent Charm that went around, and so we need to be careful about how we play things. But we have Sarkhan, which, yes, okay, doesn't just sort of win the game out of nowhere, but we do have, as long as we have can keep a creature on the thing, we have all kinds of combo wombos. But well, not really combos, but just synergistic cards and a lot of removal, and that goes a long way. If we just play it smart, let's see how it works out. Well, I would obviously have really appreciated a Woolly Loxodon, but what do you do? Okay, let's rock this. Let's see how it goes. Submit and off to playing.